What's up, guys? Today's date is September 23rd, 2025, and I've had this 2024 Plus Wired Freedom for just over a year now. I got it on September 15th, 2024, and it's been through a lot of stuff in the last year. First off, obviously, this is really a dual battery bike, but the rear rack came off November last year, and it separated from the bike. The battery came off the bike at 40 miles per hour. The rear rack was chipping really badly and cracked. And it took off this right here. I had to get this re-welded. Wire Freedom paid me back for the money I spent on that, but it was only $20 to get that re-welded, which is right around the corner from over here. So I just got this fender for it, and as you see, stickers. It looks really cool, and I put on neon strips on the bike. It really helps with reflectivity during the night. I have custom LED lights and custom LED pedals. I usually live stream at this bike. One of the main things that happened on this bike, aside from the rear rack battery falling out and the rear rack cracking itself, and having to completely dismantle it from the bike, this right here, I tipped over and fell in November 2024, November last year, and this part skid on the bike. I got brake check from a Toyota Prius that braked right in front of me, like maybe about 15 feet out, and I didn't know he was going to stop right in front of me, and I fell, and I don't know if they laughed at me at the club I was at, but I don't even know anymore, but they could have, maybe not, but fell over left side in this bike and skid this part right here. Another thing I did, I just went ahead and just did the stream after that. I'm like, that's not going to stop me. It's a little skid, but it bent the pedal. So I actually had to replace this right here. This part is newer than the rest of the bike. This right here, the 56 tooth chain rack right here. I had to replace that. This right here has some wear and tear as well. And also, I got a flat on the back tire here about a month ago or so, back in August. I was out in Fayetteville, Georgia, about 20 miles out from over here, and thankfully, I did a live stream. I did a pre-recorded video recording that before I got the flat, or realized that it had a flat, and I did a live stream after, not knowing that it actually had a flat, and a kind, lovely viewer helped me get back over here on an Uber. His name is PhoneFred1. Huge shout out to him. And actually, I got a new seat when I got the bike, but I just never put it on here because I wasn't even sure how to put the seat. Ridiculously enough, I couldn't even, what it was is I couldn't even take this off of the Wired Freedom rack right there. I'm like, maybe it's completely permanently on there. I'm not sure if it is or not, but I didn't even bother to replace the seat. But I have a brand new seat. I just got the seat clamp for it yesterday, so I'm going to most likely install it after this video. This is highlighting 1 year with the 2024 Plus Wired Freedom. As you see, this tire is a year old. The thread is starting to kind of wear out over here. And so I'm going to definitely have to replace this. As you see, it's worn out. 1 year old tire. I've put 481 miles on this bike. 4,480.9 miles. A full charge on this bike is 67.2 volts. This is a 60 volt e-bike, but it's only operating again off of one battery because the rear rack fell out. Rear rack battery fell out and the rear rack cracked already and took some of the bike part with it. I got that re-welded. It didn't fall off of the bike, but it cracked from it. So that was concerning. This bike does 42 miles per hour with one battery and up to 45 with both batteries, but I usually get about 42, 43 miles per hour top speed. I'm just going to ride it down the street and show you how it does during the daytime in traffic. Usually I have a backpack on, and I usually, again, live stream on this bike, but the brakes also could be, replaced. The front brake still works really well, though. But the rear brake is one that needs to be repaired, in my opinion. I'm going to ride down maybe just like to I-675. Right now, this is I-75. I'm going to ride to the I-675 area where they just cut down the pine trees. And come back just so you can see like the top speed and what it does. Being very careful in this traffic though, because this is a tricky area. If you're enjoying this one-year review, please give this video a like. Consider subscribing for more awesome content. And please ring the bell notification to be notified when I go live. Right over metal barbed wires there. All right, let's done. Top speed. This right here does like, we're doing 33. 42. 44. Going downhill, doing like 44, 42, front brakes, excellent braking, still in really good shape. I'm just gonna go right up the next block. I've been on this bike for 205 hours, wow, 205 hours and 13 minutes. It gives you the specs of that. The motor is at only 80 degrees Fahrenheit. It's in Fahrenheit. This is saying that we've gone down to 65.7 volts. Sometimes the meter gauge that I've had it the last year is kind of, questionable. In my opinion, I find it a little bit inaccurate sometimes, but it's going based on the voltage, but it'll fluctuate too much. And to me, that's kind of unreliable. It is reliable, but I think that's one of the only cons of the system. Is the meter gauge there of the battery. Okay, from stop, got a truck behind us, uphill, 20 miles an hour, 21, 23, 25, nice. Okay, looks like they're doing some sort of construction work over here. Cutting down all these pine trees. This is exactly where I was going to go. Whew. Got some grass in my eye. Huge shout out to 𝐿. All right. Again, here's a bit of a side tour, but here's my 2024 Plus Wired Freedom next to the newly cut I-675, where they have torn down all the pine trees here. This used to be full of pine trees, and it's no longer. It's just wood chips here, smooth ground, and it looks really pretty. You get to see the hotels right there. Very nice looking area now. It looks way more professional and cleaner, and really giving this 1987 build over here. This bridge was built in 1987. This whole area, a nice facelift. Thought I'd go ahead and show that to you in 8K as well. Here's the bike again. Let's get back on it. Let's go ahead and ride a bit more. I'm going to make a U-turn. I've gotten used to playing around with the controls. As you see, you can throttle up to 5 for a maximum power and then throttle it down so you're not going through the battery life. I find it works to make the bike have more mileage, but from like in traffic, like putting it at 5, from a full battery, definitely you can get up and really go on this. A lot of traffic. Gonna have to wait for this U-turn. I did that right on the fly. That was pretty cool. It's a really nice area now. Got to be just a little careful in this traffic, but as you see, that's a nice Hyundai Santa Fe, like the rear lights there. As you see with this bike, yeah, man, it gets up and goes, man. She gets up and goes, man. If you want her to, if you want to say it like that, when you put it on gear 5 or pedal assist mode 5, that's maximum power. You can always adjust the settings in the menu. And I'll show that to you after this light. You can always adjust the power, and after that I'll go ahead and end the video. It's a really nice morning out here, as you see. It's nice amounts of traffic, not too much. Got to be careful over here. This is where they merge into I-75. I always watch out and try to do at least 35, so they're not trying to cut me off. Even on a bicycle, an e-bike, this thing can get a lot of speed in, and it's really useful for passing this section. Over here. A lot of kick there. And so what I was saying is that definitely you can always adjust the power mode here. I'll show that to you. Press the No, you don't. You press the set button. I turned it off. Let me turn it back on. You long press the set button. From there, if you press the set button, it goes to this, but I got back out of there by pressing the down button to that, and exiting by just simply pressing the set button again. But here you go. Advanced settings. Throttle follow, start strength, assist PWM. I have the start strength at 3, the maximum really. No, it isn't. That's the lowest. This is like the maximum is 1. I put it to 2. 3 really helps though, but here's the advanced settings I was talking about. PWM I have at 15%, PW2 I have at 30, PWM3, or PWM2 rather, PWM3 I have at 50%. 75% for number 4 and 100% for number 5. I think this is a really good ratio. As I used it, it really goes through the battery nicely. It doesn't, overbear it. 3 is like the lowest if you don't want to take off too hard. I'm gonna have it at 2. I don't really think that goes to the battery so much as just like modulating your power. You can set the speed unit to miles per hour or kilometers an hour. Same for mileage unit, temperature unit, Fahrenheit or Celsius. I have it at Fahrenheit. We're here in the United States, so I just have it at Fahrenheit, but you can always change it. Volume and percentage, I put it back to volume because a lot of e-bike riders use volume and not percentage. I found that the percentage as well was kind of unreliable. The cruise function, the motor temperature, everything is pretty good. 4482.9 miles. So I will be replacing the tires on this bike in the next, I want to say, month or so. Like the next month. Yeah, number 2 is really good for even on PWM1. Gotta make a U-turn and just ride right back around over here. Gotta make this U-turn, so I'm kind of debating, like, I'm gonna go to the left and merge back over and make a U-turn. We'll see. It's gonna really take off. Using the front brake a lot. I know I've got to replace that, but in due time. It's a really pretty day out. Really pretty day out here, and really nice weather. We're at 65.1 volts. We only just did maybe just over 2 miles. That gives you an idea if you're using it full throttle, you are going to go through the battery if you have to go long term, and that really does depend on the hills you're going. I found that, at least for here in Georgia, when I ride this bike at bicycle appropriate speeds or slow scooter speeds, that I can get the most mileage going through Clayton County. But I know Henry County here in suburban Atlanta, you have quite the bill of hills, to be honest with you. And you just have to really have to moderate the power a lot, from what I found. Fun fact, I was going to record this video at 60 frames per second in 4K, but I'm like, well, let me just go ahead and record this in 8K. It looks completely realistic, to be honest with you. Some people don't even think that you can even see past 4K, but 8K is just like right next to real life. And so I'm like, let me just record this in 8K so you guys can see the bike in all of its clarity. Bike is ready to go. All right, we're back. Just a little quick ride. Again, I will be replacing these tires, but so much fun to use this bike. I find that it's easier to ride without the rear rack, to be honest, but The rear rack always gives you more power. So another fun fact, but not so fun, is that with the rear rack, Wired Freedom, I reached out to them to ask if they would replace the battery, but they wouldn't. They would charge me full price, which is $750. Also to get a taillight with it as well. So I found that they did help me, but didn't help me completely in that process, and I was a bit disappointed in that. So it's really light to work with it with one battery, in my opinion. You don't have to have the rear rack. You can always unplug it from the controller cable right here, and you'll do just fine. I have to zip tie this though, but you'll do just fine. But anyway, that's my tour of the 2024 Plus Wired Freedom. 1 year later, it's a really fun e-bike. There are better ones on the market. I paid about $2,530 with tax and shipping for this when I bought it a year ago, and it's held up through the test of time sufficiently. I mean, there are some parts, of course, that deteriorated. Like I said, this part right here was chipped and came off with the rear rack a bit, so I had to get it re-welded. Miscellaneous, I mean, there's a little bit of rust here. I rode it in a couple of rainstorms, just a little bit of rust, but not much. I really take good care of my things too. I have this accessory right here, an extra handlebar mount for my helmet light, and the LED controls right there. It's not really on there properly. I have to do that better. So you can see 2024-06. This is the front headlight. But yeah, very fun bike. Looks better than ever, even a year later. I like the newer design I gave it. Gave it a slight facelift, and it looks really fun and neon. Really nice riding out in moderate traffic, as you saw. No problems with a full battery, that is. With it drained, it's a little bit harder to ride in daytime traffic, but like I said, I usually ride this at nighttime. I don't really ride it during the day because of crazy drivers. So, I mean, it isn't completely crazy driver proof, but it will definitely get you from point A to B if you're not too far from your house, or you have a job that's under 10 miles away. This bike will definitely get you there sufficiently. But if it's like over 15 and you're going top speed in traffic, just know that your mileage will vary and you'll drain your battery quicker. And that's from actual experience of using this particular bike. I also heard that they have the 2025 Wired Predator. That would be a really fun bike to review or get if I could, unless I get a 2026 model. But we'll see how that goes. And by the way, here's the control cable where it was before. It was this cable right here, and this is like hanging out, so I have to redo that whole section. But anyways, please give this video a like. Consider subscribing for more awesome content, and I will definitely check you all out next time. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe. Again, ring the bell notification if you love these videos to be notified of when I do go live or do a pre-recorded video, and I will definitely see you all next time. Thanks for watching. Have a good day. And today's autumn equinox, by the way, in North America. Happy autumn to whenever you're watching this. Later, guys.